In this demonstration, I will show you how easy it is in AwareIM to search for data and display found records on a chart. I will be using the issue resolution sample application that comes with AwareIM. Here I have it running. If we click on the dashboard button, we can see a few charts. In this demo, we will be talking about the simplest of charts, the one in the middle. It shows how many issues are assigned to different team members. So we have team member names on the x-axis and the number of issues allocated to this team member on the y-axis. If we hover a mouse over a bar, we can see exactly how many issues are allocated to the selected team member. If I click on the bar for a particular team member, the system displays properties of this team member as a pop-up form. I will explain how to set up such a chart in your application using the AwareIM Configuration Studio. In AwareIM, if you want to search for data, you need to define a query. So the first thing we will need to do is create a new query. The name will be Chart of Issues for Staff Members. Next, we need to define the criteria of search in this area here. In our case, this criteria is pretty straightforward. We need to show a chart for all staff members. So we will be retrieving all staff member records. So I select the business object to look for, which is staff in this case. And I will leave the search criteria area empty. Next, we will define how found records will be presented to the user. Let's go to the Display As property. First, we need to make sure that the results are shown using a chart, so we select the Chart Radio button. Then we will pick an attribute of the staff object that will be shown on the x-axis. We want the x-axis to display names of the staff members, so we select the Name attribute. Then we need to define series in this area here, where each series shows some value on the y-axis. In our case, there is only one series. We don't need to worry about its name. The type will be bar, and the data for y-axis will be defined by an attribute issueCount, which contains number of issues allocated to the staff member. I will talk more about this attribute a little later. Let's define the color of our series. And let's also change opacity of the bar to make the bar more transparent. We can now see the preview of our query in this area here. We're almost done now. Let's replace the default header with something more customized. And let's define an operation that will be executed when the user clicks on a bar. It will be the edit operation, which will display the default form of the staff member in a pop-up window. Let's also display a tip, a text that will be shown when the user hovers the mouse over a bar. We click on the Legend in Tip property and tick the Show Tip checkbox. And then the tip will have X value, dash Y value, and the word issues. Previously, I have mentioned the issueCount attribute of the staff object. This attribute, shown here, stores the number of issues allocated to the staff member. We have defined a business rule or a calculation, which calculates this number in this rule here. Well, that's it. All done. Let's see the final result again. So here we have our chart. We have staff member names on the x-axis and the allocated number of allocated issues on the y-axis. When we hover the mouse over the bar, we can see the tip. And when we click on a bar, we can see a pop-up form with the properties of the staff member. Test it for yourself and see how easy it is.